Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. I've come down to Den's Pond today for a bit of a pleasure session, just to keep my hand in, fishing on the pole. For those of you that don't know about Den's Pond, it's called Den's Pond, not because Den owns it, it's because it's at the end of Den Street. It's a natural pond and nobody ever fishes it. And in fact, I don't know if you can see all this foliage around here, but until half an hour ago, this literally was blocked in, so I've had to get the garden shears out and open myself up a swim, because literally nobody fishes this place, and I haven't fished it for months and months and months either. In fact, there was a flood from the river behind me there about a year ago, and this whole place was flooded out from there. So I really don't know what to expect today, but we're going to give it a go. I've plumbed up. I've got probably 2.5 feet of depth, that's it. I'm using a 0.4 of a gram homemade float with a cane tip, which is probably about 2 millimeters, size 14 hook, B911, 14 elastic, which happens to be slick. I'm going to feed through the pole pot, and that's it. Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of a bulk there. I've got a dropper down here, and it's a really simple rig. So let's give this a go and see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one piece of corn on the hook, and then I'm going to feed through the pole pot, because as you can see, it's a bit windy today. A little bit of bait, pellets, a little bit of corn, and hopefully we can get control and manage to get hold of a few fish. So I'm out at 9 meters. I plumbed the depth. As I say, it's about 2.5 feet, and I'm just on the bottom by an inch or so. I've got a marker out there in front of me. Depth wise, there's no features, there's no shelves or anything like that, no drop offs. It's just pretty much flat all the way through, because this used to be a cow pasture until they dammed it up, and literally that's all I'm going to do. Put my sunglasses on so I can see what I'm doing, and usually it takes sort of 20, 30, 40 minutes to get the first bite, so I'll get back to you once the action starts. Some kind of bite going on. Oh yeah. Well, first one was a goes under bite, as in float goes under. But hey, it's not a big fish either, but it's the first fish, and of course, as always, it's very welcome. It's taken me about half an hour to get this. Where are you? There it is. Okay, well, we're off to the races then, as they say, and there we are. Right, well, that is probably about 1.5 pounds. GoPro, start recording. Maybe slightly better. 14 elastic, as I said before. Oh, heading for some posts in the water. It used to be a fence line, because this used to be a cow pasture, and this is way over there. Right, coming back round now. Well, that's handy. Thought for a minute he was going to carry on. Well, not very deep, as you saw. Well, taken off again. Oops, finger's not working. Thumb more than anything else not working as usual with the arthritis. But we get there in the end. Come on, fish. You can give up now. Come on. This time. They don't just pop up, do they? There we go. Now he's doing it. Well, that's a decent fish. Only a small pond. I don't know, probably 5 pounds or so. And off we go again. He's definitely heading for those, whoa, stakes from the old fence posts. Whoa, I don't know if I can stop this one, he's right over there. Whoa, no, don't do it, don't do it. He's probably about a metre away from them. Woof. Coming back round. Well, that 14 elastic doesn't half stretch. Wow. Right out into the middle now, look. Hold down a minute, give me a thumb a rest. Right, let him do his thing out there. He's gone all the way across there and now he's going all the way round, as you can see, right out in front of me. They've got some pull in them, these fish. And oh, it's decent. When I say decent, there's no really massive fish in here that I'm aware of, but for here, anything between 5 and 10 pounds is a good fish. Well, a good fish anywhere, of course, but for here, this small little pond, definitely. Come on, fish. Doesn't want to give up. Come on. Are we getting closer? Doesn't want to come near me, I know that. Gotcha. Actually, that's bigger than the last one. That is actually a good fish. For anywhere. I'd say about 7 pounds. See about showing you this one, I think. Just up to the corner of the lip, look. He's a really fat fish. And come on, fish. There we are, look, nice little fish. Pristine condition. Alright, let's get back out there for another one. For anyone that's new to the channel, you may be wondering why I'm using the pole support bar on a backrest. A simple reason being that I'm fishing at 9 meters, the pole's fairly thick at that point, and I've got arthritis, particularly in this thumb, but also this thumb, and I find that holding a large thick section of pole just gets really painful after a while. This way I can just sort of put my hands under it and lift up if I need to. So that's the reason for doing it. Obviously if I could, I'd be holding the pole as per normal, but as you get older you sometimes have to work smarter rather than working harder. But GoPro, start recording. That was straight in and straight under. Oops. Caught the tripod. You nearly didn't see this one, guys. Don't think he's quite as big. Oops. Obviously nowhere near as big. They just don't know how to fight well. He's probably only about a pound. But if you're in a match, they'd all be very welcome, as indeed they are when you're pleasure fishing too. Where are you going, fish? Coming quite well now, aren't they? Especially in 2.5 feet of water. Oof! Spoke too soon again, Den. Oh well. Caught around the pole pot now. Right, just make sure we're okay. Yep, we're still fine. Just a single piece of corn, as usual, and a little bit of pellets and corn in the pot. Just a pinch of each, a very small pinch at that. Oh, yes, oh, yes. I was dithering away there. I really made a mess of that one. Oh well. There we go. They certainly pull out some elastic, don't they? Which way are you going, fish? Try not to get them to come over the top of where I'm fishing, but sometimes they do that anyway. And I'm actually struggling to see my float a little bit with the light tip and the light on the water. So what I am going to do is I'm going to just swap it over to a black tip now. They're homemade, so I can put the interchangeable tips in just very simply. There's some guys building a house over the road. And come on, fish. Nice. Yeah, probably £3. I have to say, they're a nice stamp of fish today. I had one or two small ones which I haven't really shown you, which are also good for the future. And this one swallowed it. But yeah, we'll just change that tip and we'll get back out there. Hopefully it'll show up better on the camera as well, the zoom camera. Right. These are some of my various collections of tips which I make. They're all cane, and I made this float last night. So just put that in and we're good to go again. Get some bait on, get back out there and keep on enjoying myself. And try 2 bits of corn again. Wind's getting quite strong now. Straight in my face, but we seem to be coping okay. Right, let's see how much better this is, if at all. Oh yeah, I can see that much better now. Hopefully you can on the camera too. And a bite. Definitely a bite. Well, one after another. This one's a bit smaller. Don't need to grab any elastic in from the puller bung. Oh. Okay. Only about £1 or so, but it's going well today, isn't it? Actually, it's probably closer to £1.50 or so. There we are, look. And hey, again a fairly small one, I think. Oh yeah, quite a small one. Is he liftable? Yeah, I think he's liftable. But as I say, bodes well for the future, doesn't it? Hey, where are you, fish? Come down here, go out there. Whoops, caught the... Oh dear, oh dear. A bit of a 2 and 8, as John Wilson used to say. I just caught the camera tripod with the end of my pole. Always problematic where to put those things. They're either too far away, too far behind, or right in the way. Anyway, who cares? I'm catching fish. I reckon about £1 or so. Sorry about all the noise over there. Those builders have got some sort of a cement mixer going now. Been going for a few minutes, but hopefully they'll stop soon. Just stuck nicely in the mouth again. And as I say, probably about £1. Just for info, as I've probably mentioned before, I'm feeding through the pole pot, and I'm feeding pretty much every cast, because every cast I'm getting a fish. And I've only been putting very small amounts in there, like half a dozen pellets and 3 or 4 bits of corn. But this time, just to see, because I'm going to get some lunch, and it's a late lunch because I've been catching, I'm just going to put a bit more bait in. There we go. And I'm going to leave it for a few seconds see if that makes a difference, and I'm going to get that lunch I mentioned before. Okay, well, I've finished my sandwich, and I'm just going to go back out there with 2 bits of corn on the hook and just see if that makes any difference at all, potting that extra large portion of bait out, because when you're pleasure fishing it's always worth trying something different. Wind's coming in a different direction now, it's kind of coming that way instead of straight at me, so we'll see how that pans out. Let's get myself sorted out. Ouch! Okay, let's see how we go from here. That's a bite. Well, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There was me thinking I was going to get something huge. I get probably the smallest fish in the pond. Wow. Still, it went under. It just goes to show that the extra bait didn't put them off, did it? Lovely little fish though, aren't they? Okay, well, as you've seen, we've had plenty of fish now, so I'm going to actually put a fair bit of bait into the pot again and just see if using larger amounts of bait brings on better bites, or more of them anyway. Not sure I want those tiny little fish, even though they are really good looking little fish. And we'll just continue with this for a bit. It's only a short session today. I only came down for probably a 3 or 4 hour period, and I've been here for at least a couple of hours now. So, like I said, just trying something different. There we go. Oh, well, certainly didn't seem to have hurt it, did it? Putting in all that extra bait. This thing's fast. He's heading for the stumps. He's not that big though, so we should be able to stop him okay. And now we've got the grass cutting from the council. Oh well. Right, well, he's off down the edge. Can't actually fish down in the margins today because, as I said earlier on, I've had to cut this out and I can't see any more than about sort of 3, well, top 2 distance from me. That's it, that's all I can see. Let's see where we are with this. I'd guess at £1.5, £2 this one. Haven't seen it properly yet, but he's caught in his dorsal again. Oops, tried to climb out the net. Yeah, probably about £2. Barbless hook as always. Because I've got the zoom camera on, you'll probably see me looking down here. I'm actually looking to see where the tip of my rod is on the screen here, or my pole is, so I'll make sure I'm getting a float in screen. Well, I'm not getting a bite so far this time, so it's one of those cases where you think to yourself, well, did I put too much bait in? Have I overdone it, and have I ruined the swim? So it's quite possible, but that's okay, because as I say, it was only a short session anyway. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try yet another one of those, which should prove it one way or the other. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay, as I say, because short session, I can go home happy in the knowledge that I've caught a few fish and enjoyed myself. I'm just going to fill this little pot up properly. Sorry about that, folks, we had a bit of a camera malfunction there, in that the battery ran out. And so I don't know how much of that you've got until I come to do the editing, but basically didn't have a bite after that second pot full. So I've come back in and put a couple of bits of corn on, and I'm going to try it again. And as I've said, you don't try these things, you don't know. And yes, I could definitely have killed it, but that's okay, because I'll also have learned something about this pond. Right. Again, sorry about all the noise. This time it's the guy cutting the grass up there that's making all the racket, which is another reason I might want to disappear fairly shortly, because I do like to have peaceful days fishing. Okay, let's get this in. That's about it. Nope. Ooh. Well, had a bite anyway. All tangled up around the end of my pole, which happens sometimes. So this will probably take me a minute or two to sort myself out. But yeah, is it working? Oh wow. Well, it looks like I lied about that. It wasn't anywhere near as tangled as I thought it was going to be. So again, I'm going to put a large pot full in and see how this goes. Now remember, this isn't a commercial, this is a natural venue which really never sees anyone fishing it, except possibly me, and now and then one or two of my mates might come down, but I don't think I've seen those for, oh, I don't know, 6, 9, 12 months down here. So I'll go back out, we'll feed it again, and we'll see what happens. Ah dear, I kind of went to hit it and then decided not to, and then did again and it was on. Smallish fish again. Okay, I've no idea how many this is now, but it's quite a few, and of course you haven't seen all of them either. I'm just going to continue to do what I've been doing, which is to feed a full pot every time. Normally on this place, when I fish here, I have to feed pretty light, but it would appear that after that, excuse me, after that flood we had, it would seem that the place has changed. Now of course, a lot of the fish that were in here probably got moved out with the flood and into the main river behind me, and we also probably got some new ones coming in. And not only that, these small ones that I'm getting, ouch, are quite possibly last year's spawn. So all change. Whoa. That was on the drop. I just moved it to get it in position for the camera to see it, and by the time I'd put the rod down, the pole down, the floater disappeared. Well, complete change in the feeding on this this venue. As I just said, normally you really have to feed light. I don't know how many of those potfuls I've put in now, but that must be, what, 4 or 5? And I'm certainly getting plenty of fish, so again, something new learned. Probably about £1.5, £2 this one. Okay, so one on, try and find a nice flat one, that'll do. 2 on. Good pinch of bait, or even 2 in this case, pellets and a bit of corn, and it's pretty much one every go now. And the wind seems to have dropped for a second or two, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes you want a little bit of wind just to stir the water up. Leaping fish now. Okay, as I say, I really don't know how many this is, but gonna have to think about packing up fairly shortly. Nice fish though, nevertheless. Right, well, the bites are still coming on well, and I'm still feeding exactly as I was, getting through a fair bit of bait now, and it's just proven that things do change. So, as I said before, always worth trying something different. I've just looked down at the zoom camera, and that's been recording for just over 3 hours, so I've probably been fishing here for, I don't know, to guess 3¼ hours, which isn't a huge amount of time, but it's actually been very productive for what is a 2.5 foot deep swim. And remember, I haven't been messing around with any other swims at all, just purely the one out at 9 meters. I can't go to the sides because I can't see past these reeds more than about less than a meter probably. So yeah, learned something new. I'm going to give it the best in a minute, but I've certainly enjoyed the day, and I hope you have too. And of course, if you did enjoy it, always click the like button for me. It always goes down well. YouTube seems to think that's a great thing. And of course, if you want to subscribe, you can do that too. Thought I had a bite then. And until the next time, bye for now.